Welcome to today's recipe, which is a one pot wonder. You're going to find all of the ingredients listed in my one pot wonder Ninja Foodi cookbook, and I'm sure you're going to find it simple and easy to follow. All of these recipes are super easy to create. One Pot Wonders is about making amazing food in one pot that uses several of the functions and different methods to get the most out of your Ninja Foodi. And of course, with the least effort possible. What I love about all of these recipes is that they are inclusive. And this means that you won't need to be cooking your rice elsewhere or putting your hob on to cook your vegetables. These truly are full meals made in your Ninja Foodi. So I really hope you enjoy this recipe. Don't forget to hit the like button for me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if you haven't already. Let's get into today's one pot wonder, and I hope you really enjoy this. Let's make my one pot stew and dumplings. This is using beef and it is beautifully tender and has so much flavour. So get your Ninja Foodi onto sear and saute. And I'm going to add in some oil. I'm using olive oil, and let's just heat that up. Now what I want to do is brown off my beef, and here is the beef of my choice. It's basically just a braising steak, or you'd call it like a stewing meat. You can get that from the butchers or from your supermarket. So let's just brown that off. I'm going to do mine in 2 batches. And I'm going to season each batch with some black pepper and also some salt. I'm just going to let that cook about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. Then give it a flip over, remove it, and then do the second batch. So I'm just flipping my pieces over. You want this on a high sear and saute to get that nice coloured edge to your meat. So I'm on level 5. And the reason you don't put too much in, you don't want to overcrowd it because it's just going to stew and it's not going to brown at all. So really this is probably the maximum that you want in there like I've got. So I'm just removing the beef from the pot now. This is my second batch. And we have got a good amount of colour on the outside, and we've seasoned that really well. So there's not too much prep here in terms of your beef. Don't worry about the bottom of your Ninja pot having the bits of beef stuck to it. It's all going to give great flavour. Plus we are going to be deglazing this because you would need to before you'd be able to come up to pressure anyway. And we've got liquids to be able to do that. So I've had the onions in here just softening down. I added a tiny little bit of salt because that does help soften your onions. For the extra minute left, I am going to crush in my garlic cloves. Or give that a good squeeze. Okay, so I'm just going to give that just a minute in the pot. We don't want to burn it. And now we can start adding in our liquid ingredients. But first we need our flour. So this is regular plain flour going in. Give that a good mix and coat those onions. Because what this is going to do is help thicken our sauce and give us a really rich style gravy for our beef stew. So just keep that moving just for a minute in the bottom there, and then we can move on to the deglazing with the liquids. So first thing I'm going to add in is my tomato puree. That gives a really nice depth of flavour. So stir that through. A really nice, rich red wine that you would be happy to drink. Once those bottles open, you've got to have a glass with your stew, of course. Okay, so just give that a nice mix. You'll see that it's getting quite thick. We have got more liquid to go in here, but I like to put my red wine in first. Just start to heat that up. You can see how thick that is from the flour. You won't totally deglaze your pot just with this, but once we get the stock in, we will be good. We've got Worcestershire sauce. I like a fair amount of this in my beef stew. Yum. Let's mix that through. That smells wonderful. And now in with the stock. I choose to use beef stock. It makes the most sense. It's nice and rich. And obviously we want that beefy flavour to come through. So we've got plenty of liquid in here so that we can come to pressure. So all I'm going to do now is just let that fully heat up. Now that stock was made with boiling water from my kettle, so it's not going to take long. But what I really want to do is just be able to kind of scrape the bottom a little bit. You do want to use a silicone spatula for this. But you want to be able to do that so that nothing is catching on the bottom of your pot. And that means that there won't be any problems with you coming to pressure. So I'll just give that a minute or two just to heat through. That is heating up nicely. So I'm going to show you what I'm adding next. I've got here rosemary, parsley and thyme, all fresh, and my beef. So that's going back in with any of the juices that are on the plate as well. I've got 2 bay leaves. They're going in. It's going to add some nice flavour. Smells really nice already. Okay, so I can now feel that the bottom of my pot is nice and smooth and we haven't got any of those pieces of meat catching on the bottom any longer. We've deglazed it nicely. So let's get that under pressure. So lid down. I've turned off sear and saute, and I'm just making sure that my pressure valve is over to seal. And then we slide over to pressure cook. So my natural release is running on my Ninja with my beef in there. Once that is finished, we are going to add in our carrot and our potato cubes, and then we're going to pressure cook again. The reason that I'm doing that is obviously I want these to be cooked and I want them to be beautifully tender, but I don't want them to go to mush. So I want my beef to be really super soft, fall apart, delicious beef, because that is, for me, is the best way of having a beef stew. So I'm doing this in 2 phases, which is a little bit different for me, and I thought you might like this concept. So once we've done those stages, we're going to be needing our dumpling mix. So I thought we might as well use the time and make that now. In here, I've got self-raising flour, baking powder, I've got my herbs, and I've also got some yogurt. I'm going to also just give this a little season with a little bit of salt, not too much. And then all you do is give this a mix to combine this together. Now, I do find that the yogurt alone often isn't enough to bring this together. So I just use a tiny little bit of water until I get the right consistency. And I can then use my hands to mould these into small little dumpling balls. So I've got a little bit of water in here now, and as you can see, that is coming together. So just add a little bit at a time. A little bit of yogurt actually there, just stuck on that spoon. Now to give this a little bit of extra flavour, and something that I think works really nice with the beef, is a little bit of mustard powder. Doesn't need to be a lot. Obviously, if you want more of a kick in your dumplings, then just add a little bit more. It's really up to you. But I think it's quite nice with those herbs just to put a little twist on your dumplings. You can leave them completely plain if you prefer. There you go. That is your dumpling mixture made. Such an easy way of doing it. I kind of like that you don't have to use suet. And I think most of us have the ingredients in our store cupboard ready to make these. So then divide this up into however many you want. I tend to like to make 12 small balls. So I've got to the length of time that I want my natural release to run. So you just flick over your valve there, and that will just release the rest of that pressure for us. So all I do is just roll these in my hand, and then I make small little dumplings like this. So there's going to be 12 of these. This recipe is serving 4 people. So then everybody gets 3 little dumplings. Let's check if we can open the lid. We can, which is brilliant. And now all we do is just add in our carrots and our potatoes. Give those a stir in there. Beautiful. And then we will get this back onto pressure. So lid down and let's go again. So now we have got the beef and the vegetables cooked in our beautiful rich gravy. Now, depending on how you like your stew, for me this is just right. I do like quite a lot of gravy in there. I think it's really nice. But if you want this even thicker, then just make up a little corn flour slurry. So a tablespoon of corn flour, tablespoon of water, mix it up separately and then just tip it in and then give that a stir. But now we are ready to add the dumplings. So our little dumplings that we made earlier, we just plop them on top, just like this. Just spread them out all over your stew. And then we're going to put these on to bake, and they will expand and get a little bit bigger and fluffier. Just make sure you leave a little bit of room between them. So let's get the lid down and let's bake these dumplings. The time is nearly up on the dumplings. I'm then going to lift the lid and I'm going to show you what they look like, and then we're going to just flip them over and you'll see how much they have started to fluff up. So they're a lot bigger than they were. All I do is very carefully go in with my fork. 2 forks is optimal for this. And then I just flip them over like this. Oh, they look so good. And then I cook them for the same amount of time on bake again, just on the reversed side. Okay, last one. There you go, lid back down. There we go. How gorgeous does that beef stew and dumplings look? It's blipping and bubbling. The sauce is so rich. It's got that red wine in it, Worcester sauce. It's got so much flavour with the herbs. And of course, we've got the most gorgeous fluffy dumplings on top. Here it is, all served up, my beef stew and dumplings. It really is a one-pot wonder. What a fabulous meal, cooked under pressure and then baked to finish it off. Really is pretty quick when you consider how tender that beef is. Absolutely gorgeous meat in that delicious, rich sauce. This is beautifully indulgent, so comforting, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Please let me know if you do.